Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another incredible SDS Live. As always on Thursdays, we're here to break down the midweek action, but also look forward to the weekend's action. And of course, got a lovely group of boys joining me. Sitting next to me again, we've got the main man, we've got the op from the other block. We've got a star player in the building.
Big games coming up, man.
Hey,
big
man,
games coming up.
we got some interesting ones, and the game you lot was involved in last night, which we'll be talking about, but fellow Arsenal fan joining us again, gracing us with his presence, we have Amenya joining us as well.
Happy to be here.
Sitting next to him, I mean, it feels like we
Did we plan this?
We didn't plan this. I quite like this. Opposite ends of the table,
sense.
representing Barca. Yeah. We have Aston back in the building as well. Welcome, boys. First of all, how are we? How we doing? Good?
Yeah,
Great, man. Nice weather today as well, you know?
Hey,
Very
can't
nice
lie.
weather.
I always say, summer when it's, London when it's a bit sunny.
Yeah.
Bro, it can feel like a brand new city. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into the Champions League action that happened this week. And two games, of course, Arsenal versus Atletico. I feel like we should talk about that one after.
Yeah.
Because what we saw on Tuesday, boys, I want you lot to tell me each first-hand experience what you felt watching that game, because it seems like everyone who I spoke to, there seems to be a universal conversation of that might have been arguably the best game of football that they've watched. Some are saying that's the best Champions League game they watched. Just the level of quality you saw on display. Talk to me. What did you lot see from that 5-4, by the way? Only the first leg.
Yeah.
And we've already seen 9 goals. It's actually insane. But talk to me. What did you lot make of it? Amenya?
I'll be honest, I was speechless, you know?
Yeah.
I was doing a watch long, I thought, you know what, all right, everyone's expecting big game, big goals, but sometimes when there's so much expectation, it kind of under-delivers a little bit, right? You get gas and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
This one was the opposite. Straight away, we're seeing chaos left, right and centre. Players that I did not think were going to perform that well, having the game of their lives, great goals. We basically had, pretty much everything in that game other than maybe the random red cards here and there. So I enjoyed it in terms of, great games and whatnot. It's definitely up there. Obviously, you look at, Inter Barca's there.
That's what I was thinking,
I guess we mustn't forget as well, obviously, Real Madrid against Frankfurt, 1960, 7-3. Because when Puskas scored 4 and then...
For those who remember. Yeah,
that was for a final to win 7-3, that was crazy as well. But I think in recent times, it's got to be up there.
It's got to be up there for sure. I think that's what it is. It's the quality of the lineups as well. Before the game, you saw it, and it was like matchups galore. Vitinha versus Musiala, Kane v Pacho. You got the only funny one was Kvisha versus Stanisic. I was like, there's a mismatch there.
Yeah.
But that mismatch as well played into Kvisha's performance, if anything. 2 incredible goals from him. Yeah. What did you kind of see, Abs, when you watched that game?
It's brilliant. I wanted it to be the Champions League final. I think that's the only thing I could have criticised based on it. But it was a brilliant watch. We saw attacking players expressing themselves, taking on their... We saw wing play. And I feel like us being Premier League fans, that's not something we often get to see week in, week out. So seeing that in the Champions League, it reminded us why the Champions League is the premier footballing competition in the world, in club football. Yeah. And it was fun to watch. I think there was a lot of standout performers. Elise in central area scoring that goal. We saw, obviously, the discourse was, sorry, and I'm sure you're going to touch on it as well, about maybe fans of a certain club talking about how they didn't enjoy not seeing good defending. But I loved it. I'm just saying.
I think some
if
of that
anything,
conversation...
only one man was kind of tweeting that, and it was him.
I actually tweeted it at the point when it got to 5-4. Because I thought when PSG went 5-2 up, it's like, yo... We've seen all the entertainment we need to see now. Yeah. Now let's see some professionalism. Yeah. And instead, Bayern went up and got 2 goals in 3 minutes, I think it was. And that was when I was like, okay, let's not let this debacle turn this into a debacle where it's like Sidemen charity match. Yeah, I mean 9-10. We're talking about, who else hasn't scored? Oh, go on, you get one. But in the end, all in all, I think everyone can say that was high quality. And as much as even you want to say, were the defenders defending or whatever, I think the attacking quality and the attacking display that we saw from those players was so high, they weren't even... defence couldn't do nothing
That's
about it.
That's what I'm saying. It was more taken out of their hands rather than, I think necessarily it was poor setups or... there was so many storylines. Companies in the stands. Where Luis Enrique just has to say sometimes...
taking over.
It was a really, really high quality football game.
Even the depth though, like you said, Barcola coming on. Obviously they had Nicholas Jackson and that, and Goretzka and that coming on, but it was just ISO ball. You don't really get that. You're not in the Premier League, like you said, you're used to watching 2 against 1. But here it was literally Nuno Mendes against... I thought Elise had a Unreal game, by the way.
Really good game.
Bro, incredible.
Again, I remember
it's very rare you see Nuno Mendes have games like that. I think I've only ever seen him have one other game, and the other one was Jadon Sancho, which is the funniest name ever.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, mind you, Nuno Mendes did have an injury coming into this, so there was a little bit of that. But bro, I was like, as you were saying, there's so many individual performers. You're like, surely there's going to be someone who stinks out. But it felt like 9 out of 10 players, everyone delivered. Whether it was Elise turning up, whether it was Kane popping up with the early goal. Dembele, I felt, was a constant threat throughout the game. Kvisha, of course, incredible. But there's a stat here as well where Harry Kane, 54 goals this season, Luis Diaz, 26, and Elise, 20. They have now netted a combined 100 goals for Bayern Munich in all competitions. Messi, Neymar, and Suarez were the last trio in Europe's top 5 leagues to surpass 100 goals in a single campaign with 111. Do you think that attacking trio there can surpass it? And I actually felt it was the two best front threes going toe-to-toe, which is why we got that type of game.
No, 1,000%.
Do you reckon that trio can break it up?
Passes because obviously they play in the Bundesliga. Like
I think there's like 4 games left or something like that.
It's always high scoring in that kind of games. And then obviously you still got the second leg to play. It's probably a cup game they're probably still in.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure about that one, but no, I think they'll surpass it.
It's so mad because even on both sides, there's crazy numbers. The fewest games needed to reach 50 wins as a manager in Champions League history. Luis Enrique's done that in 77, beating Pep's record of 80.
Wow.
Harry Kane has registered 18 GA in 16 Champions League knockout games for Bayern Munich alone, by the way. Most goal involvements in a single Champions League campaign for PSG, 15 from Kvisha, 14 from Dembele last season. So all the records that these teams set, even like every year you hear Bayern Munich setting these ridiculous records. But what do you lot think will happen in the second leg now? I feel like this is perfectly set up for almost a second leg for this to happen again.
Yeah, I don't know why I shouldn't expect anything less than what we did see. I don't expect a different approach from any of the managers, and like Styles was alluding to, if we get to see that level of ISO ball against any defense, like we're talking about the numbers that these front threes are getting, this is like legend. And obviously in the Champions League, we're playing a lot more games in the Champions League with the group stage fixtures. So the stats are a little bit inflated in the Champions League. But Harry Kane, just to talk about someone example, right? If this guy goes on to win the Champions League, this is a campaign like this. It kind of vilifies everything that he's been questioned with throughout his whole career.
Is it mad though that I felt like there were maybe 4 or 5 Ballon d'Or contenders out there?
I think on the same pitch.
No, it was.
Kane scored a goal, and I was like, the Kane campaign is started.
Yeah.
Elise followed it. I went, we're close behind. And then Dembele went up the other end. I went, he could make a late charge, you know. Yeah. Vitinha gets the pre-assist, and I'm thinking, yo, he's always in the conversation. Like, but it's almost like the quality of that game. It just who was the guys you were looking at in that game and you thought, yeah, you stood out?
I wanted to ask you because all the stuff I'm hearing, the name that I've not heard, which is baffling to me, is Luis Diaz.
Yeah,
For me, despite losing, that's my man of the match.
Yeah.
And I go into these things, and I get we're going to start causing a bit of chaos and whatnot, but fair enough. I go into the games with as much of an unbiased eye as possible. I'm someone that I wasn't really rating the transfer that much. I thought when the big Champions League games come knocking, Luis Diaz won't turn up. So I can happily say, yo, this guy's put on a masterclass. But the way everyone is like gassing up, let's say Dembele and Elise, when Diaz had a game like that, I think guys are just going off what they like already beforehand and assuming, they had some incredible all-timer game. Diaz was by far better than everyone. Diaz won, feature 2, and then there's a gap.
No,
then there's a gap. Diaz won, feature 2, then there's a gap. I'm sorry.
I think Kvisha and Elise were right up there.
No. Explain to me why Elise is up there with Diaz in this game.
Elise, the whole game was active. From minute 1 to minute 90, he was going at Nuno Mendes, who's the best left back in the world. And in terms of 1v1, every time he got the ball, there was no going backwards. There was
no going backwards.
Very few times did Elise go backwards.
No, we're different games. Elise beat Mendes multiple times, right? I'm not denying that. And he had a good game. However, half the times, he passed it back to his fullback. The other times, let's speak about when he beat Nuno Mendes. What happened afterwards?
What did happen?
Was there any cross that met a player? Did he get a shot off from that?
Did he not?
None of those times.
Did he not weave past him and almost score through the dribble?
Do what? He didn't score. And then do what?
But he almost did.
He hit João Neves. Like, what are we talking about? Bro, how is that like cool? He went to the byline and hit it at João Neves.
So Diaz, what was he doing?
Diaz were better. Huh?
So Diaz, I felt like Diaz
was picking the ball up from out wide, driving into the middle. He was having incredible driving in the middle, spreading the ball to Elise. Elise was one.
I don't see this gap though. That's the thing.
There wasn't second half especially. First off, Elise was beating Mendes, but obviously everyone's going to ignore the times where Mendes flicks it over his head and dribbles past him, or where Doué takes the ball off him. Second half, Elise was clip farming. And first half even, the miss that he done, that's a disgrace for me. That's a disgrace for me. Hold on a minute. Bayern lost the game, and a big reason for that is the miss that he does.
The one where Kane, we were 2-0. Come on, like 7 other goals going after that. You can't say the game is lost at that point. You can't say the game is lost at that point. Bro, that's like 13 minutes. That's like 15 minutes into the game. You can't say the game is lost at 15 minutes.
No, I didn't say the game is lost. But it's a big factor. Second half, most of the times when Elise gets the ball, he's trying that random nonsense Odegaard scoop pass over the top, goes to nobody, or he's the advertising.
No, it went to one who couldn't get on the end of it.
And one of them, Goretzka could have got on the end of one of them.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
about? He beat Nuno Mendes and nothing happened off those ones. He got his goal from bad defending in the central area by Marquinhos. While we acting like he was Diaz of feature levels. You man like Elise, and I get it. Listen, I'm talking about someone that's in my Ballon d'Or rankings already. And Diaz isn't. But we haven't got to pretend that he was close to Diaz in this game,
Nobody disrespected Diaz. The thing is, you're saying Diaz was like levels above.
Yes, he was.
I don't see that
Diaz and Kvara
I thought
were the best two.
I thought there was so many. It was almost like one of those performances where you're splitting hairs over who you prefer.
But why can't anyone tell me what happened to Elise when he beat Nuno Mendes?
But I thought Elise was just as good.
No one can deny that he didn't have the end product the same way that Diaz might have had throughout the game.
He beat Mendes. The time he beat Mendes, he smashed it into Safonov.
Like if there's any for me,
what's the what? No, but
that was a great save.
I understand your point.
Save.
What do you mean? Steven's literally got fingertips to that, bro. Was that not a good save?
No, as in where he went past him on the outside and just crossed it, and Safonov just picked the ball up.
Yeah, I remember
that was the dribble that I was talking about. Yeah.
No, it isn't the dribble you're talking about.
Which one are you talking about?
There's 2 occasions where he beats Mendes comfortably, and obviously Mendes is shaking, and I completely agree. The first one, he tries to cross it in, it goes straight to Safonov, to the goalkeeper. If that's any other winger, we're saying,
So we're saying now, Elise has to kill every opportunity he gets.
No, I didn't say every opportunity. Did any of those lead to anything for his teammates?
The fact that he's trying to beat his man, he's a constant threat.
I do feel like you built this argument yourself,
bro.
No, what do you mean? No, but I've asked the question. Nobody can answer it.
Let me explain why. I think because of how highly you rated Kavicha and Luis Diaz in the game, but I agree with both of you. I agree with both of those players. I thought they were brilliant. But I didn't look at Elise in that game and say he disappointed me, to be honest.
I didn't say disappointing either.
I didn't say disappointing.
When you say that question and no one is answering.
No, but you said there's a big gap between those.
Explain to me something that he did when he beat Nuno Mendes that led to anything positive for his team.
No one's disagreed with you there. There wasn't enough end product from
the thing I'm not getting is, why is there criticism on Elise? When I feel like
it's not criticism. I'm telling you, Diaz and Kvara were up here.
No, the argument wasn't that. I don't think it was that.
When you started this whole thing, you were gassing up Elise.
Why don't you think it's such a big gap? Why don't you think it's such a big gap?
I didn't highlight Elise in particular.
But he, to me, was by far the best.
So you brought up Diaz.
No, but I feel like instead of instead of doing Diaz prop, you're doing Elise. Let's talk about how good Luis Diaz was.
It's not criticism. No, if I ask a question to show how he's not on the same level as what Kvara and Luis Diaz did in this game.
But then it's like going back into a game and breaking down every action Luis Diaz did, and I'm just
no, because I'm asking. But how can he be on the same level? So I'm asking you what happened for me to be the same level.
He was just as much of a threat on the right as Luis Diaz was on the left. Luis Diaz might have been able to get a more end product off.
Yeah.
But there are some games where Diaz might go off, some games Elise might go off.
And both of them.
I don't understand the point, man.
And both of them
understand the point. And next time, let's go watch a Madueke game, yeah. And when he beats his this is nonsense. This is nonsense.
Now we know why this is leading.
I agree.
Now it's all making sense.
What's the point of beating your man? And then we're talking about this is the best year earlier.
I knew that's where this was going.
I was trying to figure out what the link is.
What is the link? Madueke is media. You're not understanding the point that I'm making to you. I'm saying clearly Kvara in this game, Elise is better than all the other wings that are playing other than Kvara. I think it's Kvara and Elise. In this one game alone, because everyone loves Elise, we have to pretend that he was better than these guys or even on the same level. He wasn't.
Absolutely nobody in that analysis said Elise was better than anybody. You are now getting hot bothered me over nothing.
I think he was more annoyed that Diaz wasn't mentioned.
Then mentioned.
No, I'm saying he's mentioned.
Ameni's argument wasn't that. Ameni's argument was Luis Diaz and Kvara were the best two.
Yeah,
then obviously you jumped in and said Elise wasn't at far up. Then I understand him going wild. I understand you going wild, going.
It wasn't close.
Why don't you think he was far off?
No, but this is like saying, okay, Diaz got a 9.6 and Elise got a 9.
Ratings.
But hypothetical. It's example.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's splitting hairs. They both had good performances. What are we talking about?
No, it's not splitting hairs. Diaz was comfortably better. I'm telling you that as someone... Tell me why Diaz was better. Or tell me why Olise was better.
Oh no,
I thought Olise was more of a threat. The fact that
more of a threat than Diaz.
In my opinion, I thought Olise got more of the ball. Olise was more of a threat. Diaz was just as good. But in my opinion, I was more impressed the fact that Olise was up against Mendes. That for me was like, how are you making the best left back in the world look this average?
But he's the best right back.
He was against Diaz.
I thought had an off day.
But that's credit to Diaz, no?
Yeah, I think Diaz did really well against
Hakimi going forward as well.
No,
was he not?
100%. I agree with you. But like, you can't gas. You can't gas thingy though. You know,
Luis Diaz played better than Olise. Okay.
Yes, thank you. That's it.
Voila.
Because right now, all we're doing is arguing. That didn't need to be a fucking tangent.
Because I like the passion.
I don't know where it came from, but it's brilliant. That was good.
Because the thing was for me, of all the attacking talent out there, there was one for me that didn't live up to it. That looked like a fish out of water, and that was Musiala. And I was like, yo, what the hell happened? So that for me is more of an interesting conversation than splitting heads between that. Because I'm like, Musiala's now come back from injury. I think he's had 18 games, started maybe 7 or 8. I don't expect him to get back to his level straight away. But what do you lot think is going to take for him to get back to his level?
It's hard to say.
But how do you get there with the talent that they've got? Because like you said, last season, maybe 2 years ago, the team used to run through Musiala, like you said, to show his talent, show everything. Obviously, what he did with Germany. Now it's kind of surpassing with Olise and Diaz being there. Even Carl. Carl coming into that same position and stepping up. So
Carl's been dropped a little bit more.
I know he has, but obviously Musiala's just come in if that makes sense. So I don't know now that he might reach that level, but it might take him a while.
Yeah,
I think it'll take him a while.
Do you think it'll be a case like Rodri, Van Dijk, where
it's a big injury come back from as well?
To a year.
It's a big injury as well, man.
Especially with the type of player he is, how explosive he is, how much he relies on his physical action. We saw him. I remember the game against Arsenal in the Champions League in the previous campaigns, where he's running in channels against guys like Saliba and Gabriel, and he's running with the ball. And, like, you can see how much he relies on his physical attributes, how much he turns in tight areas in the box. It is so important for him to be in good nick, and he's obviously gone through such a tough injury, and it's going to take him a while to get back minimum, I think.
Yeah. Let me read out a couple stats from this game. Most goal involvements in a single Champions League game. I think I read that one already. Harry Kane is the first ever English player to score in 6 consecutive Champions League games. Olise is just the third Bayern player with 5+ goals, 5+ assists in a single Champions League campaign after Lewandowski and Sane. Ousmane Dembele now has the most knockout stage goal involvements in PSG Champions League history. Insane, considering they had Mbappe, Neymar, all these guys. And then you've got the highest scoring semi-final match in UEFA Champions League history. Where does that rank for you lot in terms of Champions League historical matches you've seen? I don't even want to bracket to just semi-finals, but just in general, all Champions League games you've seen.
The PSG Barcelona one comes in my mind as well, the remontada game.
Istanbul, if we're talking like any game as well. Istanbul has to be like number one of anything, realistically, right? I think the comeback Liverpool.
Final 3-0.
My thing is, it's obviously because this being a first leg, it's got that downside to it. Like you said, a lot of like the big games, like you said, remontada, the all second leg games. Like into Barca last season even, that's the second leg. As a first leg, it's tops. Wow, like you can't.
So it's a good thing we don't have away goals as well, because look at last year as well, Inter Barca 7-6. We wouldn't get that without when we had the away.
Do you think away goal removal has helped the competition? Because I remember initially when it got removed,
a lot of people were against
it. Yeah,
nah, 100%.
I remember being against it at the time. I remember being against it at the time because I thought it was something that was just the magic of the Champions League. But looking back at it right now, it has given us some unbelievable fixtures.
Would you say top 5, top 3?
Champions League like semis or just
Champions League games in history.
No, I like the Real Madrid Chelsea one.
You've got the
Santiago Bernabeu. That was a big
semi-final last year. You include that the Barca Inter.
It's tough because in the moment when the whistle goes, you're thinking it's the best game of all time. Then you wake up, you're like, okay, let me calm down a little bit. Like,
I don't want to sound like a Scrooge, but you know, it was weird watching it because, like you said, when PSG were up 5-2. They were still throwing bodies trying to get 7s and 8s.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I found weird. Like, they didn't really want to control the tempo of the game. It was like you said, it was a basketball game. Yeah. That's why, as a neutral, I loved it. But watching it, I was like, you're 5-2 up and you're throwing 10, like Hakimi and Mendes have already gone forward. I'm thinking, you're up 5-2. Like, what are we doing?
But even if you look at the difference between Pep's Barcelona and Luis Enrique's Barcelona, it was much more. He's an attacking-minded coach. 100%. He always has been, and he relies on that wing play. So when you give someone like Luis Enrique these weapons to go for it, it's like a recipe for them to just continuously attack throughout the game. And Bro, I don't hold it against them. I love that they play like this, and it's won them a Champions League, and they might make them go back to back. So I just love the relationship that's married up between PSG and Luis Enrique. It's made for some unbelievable watching.
But do you think they gave us too much in that first leg?
You don't really go to that second leg. You never expectation talked about. I said, now I'm like, you got to live up to this one. I'm thinking this is going to be...
That's why I almost kind of felt bad for Arsenal the next day, where I was like, it don't matter what type of match happens tomorrow. This is gonna feel like no one cares. No one's gonna care. It's one of those, and we'll get to the Arsenal game shortly. But any super chats there? Actually, let me just read out a couple quickly.
Let's shout out some more players, man, because you know what I feel bad for as well.
Go for it. Who else you want to shout out from the game?
Upamecano conceded 5 goals, but he was slightly decent.
He was good.
Man let you 5 goals here, but Upamecano was good.
Yeah.
I think the only guys that ruined it for me, Goretzka coming on ruined the vibes.
Oh my God! Do you know what I was saying? He didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he ruined the vibes.
He genuinely didn't know who he was.
Stanisic and Konrad Laimer. There was so many times when Bayern were getting the ball and there were balls put in behind, and you're thinking, all right, Elise or Diaz, and it's them two getting on the end of it. There was one time when Stanisic got through 1-on-1, and I was just like, you're the last player.
I wanted it to be going on.
Nobody wants to see you there, bro.
I remember there was a ball that went down the channel to Goretzka, and he forgot the ball behind him. He forgot the ball.
He wasn't sure what city he was in.
I feel bad for Fonzie as well, man. I don't think that's sport. I get the rules now. I understand it now. But
I understand it now.
I understand they're going to be consistent or whatever. But at the time, I'm screaming, that's just not.
I don't know what handball is.
It didn't make sense.
I don't know what handball is.
And I felt like
he had a great game as well, in my opinion.
I thought he was the same.
The fact that it came off his body as well first was even more insane. Let's have a look. Squad 11 here says most goals by MSN is actually 131 and 122. Their lowest was 111 in all comps, but amazing to watch.
131, I don't think they get that. I don't think they get 131 or 122.
Oh yeah, that's insane. Bro, that's scary. To think a whole team doesn't even score 100 plus goals.
Yeah.
CEO here says Fuad is looking like Emmanuel Abdibayo in that. Hey, listen, get me out there, coach. As he says, many are crying because Elise is better than Saka.
Do you see why these comments are interesting, right? Because I started this whole thing by saying, like, I don't care if I rate you or I don't rate you. On Luis Diaz, I've been saying, I don't even rate this guy. But I'm just talking about this game alone. He was sensational. But other people can't watch the game with a lens of, let me just try to be unbiased. No one mentioned Saka, bro.
Noah MUFC says, Kobe new contract, build the midfield around.
We're going to talk
about that in a little bit.
We're going to be talking
about a lot of guys apologies as well.
On the weekend.
In regards to Luis Diaz, why do you think he looks like the Porto Luis Diaz now, if that makes sense? You know,
honestly,
like Liverpool wasn't.
I have no idea, because like obviously the Bayern fans, and listen, my bad, innit? They've been saying he does this every now and then, but I'm thinking, Augsburg, you know what I mean? Fair enough. But this guy genuinely, like, he moved into Ronaldinho, bro. Like the stuff that I was seeing, like it was the one that even before his goal, I thought he was man of the match. But it's the way he just felt so confident. And one thing, I mentioned it for Elise as well, to give everyone the same, I guess, credit. One thing with Bayern that's difficult, unlike let's say when people speak about Barcelona, is that you can't double team or triple team one player because Kane is there, Luis Diaz is there, Olise. You can't, have 2 man on Olise or 2 man here. Whereas for Yamal, it's kind of unfortunate for him because ain't nobody double teaming Ferran Torres, bro. Like that guy, he's just there for no reason. Or like, big respect to Marcus Rashford, but no one's doing that, right? So Yamal has 3 man on him, whereas with Bayern, everyone just has freedom, space, right? And again, we mentioned obviously Hakimi maybe not having his best game, but I'd argue a lot of Luis Diaz's best moments was again driving with the ball into central areas, spreading it to Olise or to Kane or Kimmich, whoever.
Speaking of driving in central areas, I'm surprised you didn't mention your boy as well, because he really impressed me as well. Desiree Doué in his playmaking bag, like passing and some of the weight on some of the passes. The one where he almost is forcing Kvaratskhelia to make the run for him. As soon as he sees that one on his left foot, finds a pass over the top. There's another lovely pass he gave him behind that. I think it might be Kavic as well, where he just drived inside and there's a central presence. And bro, Desiree Doué almost like because of how good Kavic is and how obviously Dembele is a Ballon d'Or winner. I don't think he goes under the radar. I don't think anyone's criticised him, but I just think he is so beautiful to watch sometimes as well. And we know him for his flair and what he can do in terms of facing defenders up. But when that boy gets in his playmaking back...
Do you know what's funny when you speak about Desiree Doué? Because I remember in the first half of the season, people were saying he doesn't look the same way he looked. Kvicha, I remember people were saying that in the first half of the season. And PSG, I think I saw a stat saying about kind of how much percentage splits their players have played over the season.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a single... I want to say Zaire Emery might have been the only one above
I think
60% of the games.
He's played most minutes for PSG.
But most people would look at him and think, it's probably Vitinha or Neves who probably play week in, week out. But the way they managed that team over an entire season, I think everyone used to look at it. Remember back in the day saying, by March, because they've won the title, they can't compete for the Champions League because they don't have the competitive juice. Now it's the complete opposite. People are saying, hey, you know what? They've managed it really well. So,
and I think this is something that players that play for teams that are not in the Premier League, because obviously we're Premier League based fans, get a lot of grace for. But I don't have an issue with is that Kvicha, if you look at his GA in Ligue 1, I think I was reading something that is poor. It's not that great. It's not that great. But when the lights are the brightest, when we need you the most, when these are the champions is on,
they rise it.
You're here for me.
Yeah.
And this is why I said it's okay when it's not in the Prem, because these guys almost always have their leagues wrapped up. And it's monopolized for them over there. And this is a grace that they get to have. And I think this is why players who are top Premier League exports trying to become top in Premier League maybe should go out there. It's because your league form, we're not going to look at it too much. The world is not going to be watching there. But as long as you step up in those biggest of games, this is when your legacy, your stock as a player, and also your ratings for me increases because you are there in the biggest of stages.
But is that more to do with, obviously, us having Prem eyes? In terms of watching it, because it reminded me, like you said with Kvicha, it reminded me of like the nostalgia days where we didn't pay attention to numbers. It was more performance.
We cared about when we're watching,
what you watch on ITV1, you know, all that kind of stuff. Where that's what it showed this game. If that makes sense. Where I wasn't looking, like I said, I wasn't looking at Luis Diaz as a GA, because like you said, whilst everyone was eating, I still thought Luis Diaz was the best player on the pitch because he forced Bayern Munich to go forward. As you said, like when I was watching Elise, I'm like, he chinged a couple man consistently, but he slowed the game down a lot more and brought the other players in, whereas Diaz is the complete opposite. And I was like, I remember watching the game and going, Diaz deserves something out of this because I know Dembele's eating this person. Even same thing with Doué. Like one of the main reasons why we didn't really speak much about Doué is because like there's 5 others that will do the
loud characters that are on the pitch.
In regards to it, it felt like a game where we was watching it purely on performance, not on numbers.
It was a top 10 game, Game of Stars. Proper Champions League fixture where you really.
What's your guys' thoughts on them talking about, you know, the negative side, the Scrooge side of football, where they're like, it's too high scoring, like there's no defending, like it's a good attack or is it just bad defense and stuff like that? Like you saw the discourse on socials and stuff.
I think, as I said at the start, I think it's a great attack. There was nothing the defenses could do. Like you were in a situation where you were up against such high level attackers. I mean, Kvicha, some of the stuff he was doing, I was just like, bro, he's in flow state.
He's got
when you literally just got to hold it.
When it got out of hand, is probably that Elise goal for me. And the only reason why I say that,
to say it.
It got out of hand. I know, it's true. It's true. I say that an Arsenal fan. But the only reason I say that got out of hand is that I would never take away from having a João Neves and a Vitinha on the pitch for me, right? But I think, let's say for that one, and this is going to be ironic depending on who's saying this, but let's say for that one action, you put a Declan Rice in that midfield.
Wow, brother, why Declan?
Let me tell you why. Let him cook. If you put,
oh brother, this guy stinks.
If you put Declan Rice,
I'm willing to hear you out.
It's hilarious. You don't even know what I'm going to say as well. If you put Declan Rice into that position there, that goal wouldn't happen. Declan Rice wouldn't allow that goal to happen. But at the same time, if you then put in when all of the goals are happening, when Vitinha does that pre-assist and all that kind of stuff, you wouldn't then see all of that beautiful attacking, free-flowing football. So we take it. And as neutral fans, we're going to be there and we're going to happy. I'm going to say, yes, could there be things that you could change? Could be different profiles that you could play? Yeah, but we wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. It wouldn't have been brilliant. And it's I think football is at its best when the best attackers are thriving and the best players are the attackers on the pitch.
You know what it is? I think it depends on like what perspective you're asking the question from, right? So like for the 4 of us who realistically don't really care what happens, right? We just want to see bare goals.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But I think I saw, was it Wayne Rooney was speaking afterwards, like he's not really going to be that keen if he just played a game and, you know, they've let in 4 goals or 5 goals. So from like a manager's job is not to entertain us, realistically. Football is entertainment.
Yeah.
So for us, we all
As
want to
neutrals,
see all these goals, and that's why we enjoy this game.
Absolutely.
But the managers aren't paid to make it fun for random brothers.
But
to
managers
enjoy the game.
also have philosophies.
For sure.
And that's why I think that's what I was speaking about earlier about the way Luis Enrique approaches games. I'm not surprised that we got a game like this.
Yeah.
Like it was bound to happen at some point, and we've seen high scoring games from this PSG team. But we take the good and we take the bad because you're right. His job is to, at the end of the day, win the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's what he's really ultimately judged by.
Yeah, one of these is getting booted out. And
One
so
of
for
them,
all these
someone's
wonderful
going
goals,
home.
you're going yards.
You know my argument to this is as well, yeah. You know how everyone spoke about, like you said, Abs, you alluded to it early in the watch along, where you was like, I wish this was a final. But if you've just got a game like this, you want 2 legs. You don't want it to be a one game thing.
Very true.
So
Very
my
well
thing
said.
is-
Very true.
What are you lot saying? Score prediction, second leg. Go on.
At this point, bro, I don't think anyone got the first leg right.
I said 2-0
I need to
PSG
hear
for the last one.
I said 3-2 PSG for the last one.
I might go 3-2 in the second leg. I might go 3-2 in the second leg.
Other way?
PSG, now PSG.
Oh, PSG win again?
Yeah, I think PSG.
I feel like we're owed penalties at this point, man. Give us a 3-2 the other way. Just give us penalty shootout, bro. At this
That'd
point.
be so cool. Though.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
4-3.
To who?
4-3 Bayern Munich. Same thing like you said with your outcome, just high score line.
Yeah.
4-3 Bayern.
I go with 3-2.
3-2. I think 4-3 is too much now, but we would have said this.
We're still going to get
the first
some
time.
goals, though. Yeah, we're still going to get some goals, I think. But I think, funnily enough, I think Bayern will go through.
Okay.
I think Bayern will go through. But
To be
let's
honest,
move on.
They don't have
After these
Hakimi,
Super
right? He
Cats.
hamstring tear, innit?
Who?
Oh, is it like a serious one?
Yeah, apparently. I think
Ooh.
Fabrizio said.
Which grade?
I don't know the grade.
No,
for real.
there's grade 4.
I know.
They invented
There's a
new
new
ones,
one.
bro.
When did I hear that? When did we
Grade
hear
4
that?
Esteval.
That's
a
a
new one.
That's a new one,
Yeah, man. A couple super chats that have come in. Colin here says, I forgot how good Davies was. He wasn't even at his best and only played 45 minutes as well. I can't see that one. Just a Wayfarer says, talk about Upamecano. Grew up with Dembele. Friends reunited. Best defender in that game, in my opinion. Could have been more if it wasn't for him. And I think him and Dembele actually come together from their ends, and they invited everyone from the area
I
to
saw
that game
some
as well.
clips of that.
Dope. I can't even lie to you. I love that. Buyers Liverpool here says, year in, year out, Liverpool have the most watched games, the highest selling jersey, and more followers by far than Arsenal. Stars talking about some no one cares. We're so much bigger than your team.
Is he in the wrong stream? What was this about?
Well, like, he lost me at jerseys.
Yeah, I can't lie. He lost me back
on the roundup.
No, but I did say it. I looked at his hat and said, biased Liverpool fan.
Yeah, but-
He must be so angry. It must be so angry that he had to say that.
Love on the $10, though.
But appreciate it, brother. But this is Champions League talk.
Speaking of which,
Oh, apparently you said Liverpool are not a big Prem team or something. That's what they're telling me.
Not today.
Not
Today he
today.
didn't say that.
I said it
the
last
other
time.
day. It was the other day.
Goodness gracious.
I don't want to go into that. Let's not go into that.
Let's move on
Lost
to
me
the
at
other
jerseys
Champions
anyway.
League game.
Yeah.
He lost me at jerseys.
I
Two
respect
Arsenal
it,
fans here.
Yeah,
Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 1. And I feel like we should actually start off with a controversy. I feel like the second. Come on.
let him continue.
Come on,
Let's continue, man.
We're live. Sorry.
Alright, cool. That's what we're doing.
relax.
Yeah.
See what he's doing,
Say no more.
you have to get back.
As a penalty.
You had one at Ed earlier as well, but go ahead.
As a
that's fine.
penalty.
Yeah, you looked after me though.
Obviously, Hanko, I think, involved in the first penalty for
both.
Gyökeres as well, and rightly given. Second one, what did you lot think? Should have been given? Feel robbed?
Do you know why I'm glad that the first game happened beforehand? Because as I mentioned, I was doing a watch along,
Yeah.
and all the things that I was campaigning for, I campaigned the same way in the second leg when it was for Arsenal. So nobody can say, oh, disgusting, bias, right? The same way the handball, right, with Ben White. Again, I hear it because they want to remain consistent. I didn't think it was a Davis handball, nor do I think it coming off of Ben White's leg should be a handball.
Yeah.
But
3 penalties are basically the story of this game, yeah.
Whatever. The Eze one, for me, I think the main contention is whether or not it's soft or not, which I can fully hear that one. But I think once you've given it for contact, to then watch it, I can see in bro's eyes. He didn't want to give it, bro. He's standing there in front of the TV thing. He's thinking, you know what?
Even Diego Simeone hounding him as well.
he's like, I
don't
don't really want to give it, but at this point, it's kind of too late. So he gives it, and it's unfortunate, but you have to just, unfortunately, just have to hold it, innit? Like,
Do you think crowd pressure played a part?
Oh, big time.
that
Oh,
being given?
big time. I
Diego
thought,
One thing that
Simeone right
separates-
next to the screen as well, hovering on your shoulder.
If that's his son going down that same way, we've seen, all my life growing up, I've seen, whether it be like, let's say Drogba win pens for that, or Vardy win pens for that, or Kane win pens for that, where they say, oh yeah, it's a clever way to leave your leg. Now suddenly, being clever doesn't count, is disgusting dive. So it's a bit confusing. I think most people, the reason why I mentioned that I like the fact that the other game happened before is that people are kind of exposing their bias, where they were saying one thing the day before, and the next day, because it's Arsenal, do you know what, sickening dive, I don't like it. So
and also in regards to that is like, managers always say to the players, like, go down if that makes sense. If you feel any kind of contact, go down, because when they're truly honest, you don't get rewarded for it.
I think Hanko's just a brain dead moment.
He's a bozo, man.
Are you talking about the first one?
The second one.
But that's if you believe there's contact or not, though.
They're saying there was contact, and if you want to slow down the replay and zoom in,
I think it matters because I never had the feeling to say that Eze is disgusting in his dive. I think he's gone for it. He's realised I can get to this ball first, and if I go down, then there's opportunity to get a penalty. I don't think he was.
But you know what? He didn't go down. He didn't go down
because of the
touched it.
Yeah, because of the first foot. It was the left foot that he dangled out. So it was a simulation.
It's smart.
It was simulation. It was smart. It was his attempt at getting a penalty.
This is right.
And I feel like attackers, they always do that.
I've seen legs hanging. Sorry, I don't want to do too many conversations, but it's his left foot that he made contact with when he dangled his leg out, if that makes sense. That's what Eze imitated for, if that makes sense. So he stepped down there and got to the ball before Hanko. Hanko stepped, potentially there's a slight bit of contact, but it's not enough for him to go down. So it's a dive in essence, but it's not one like I look at and say, oh, Eze, you've ruined the game.
If it went, say for example,
if that was in the other box and Atletico
that's
did
what I'm
it,
saying.
Would that have been given?
I think VAR tells the ref to look at it and he sees if there's contact or not. And they think, but like, the interesting thing.
Atmosphere.
With Diego Simeone, he'll lose technical errors just to get a pen.
If that was in the other box, I reckon that gets given.
Simeone's behind the question. I don't know what your car sparks, bro. That's what he's saying.
But I'm saying the VAR, like, it was interesting to see the different angles that the VAR showed as well, because it was the first angle they were showing on repeat. I said this is a penalty.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that they showed. It looked like he didn't touch him at all. If this was in Nawanda, in Pav, it doesn't matter. If VAR showed him those two different angles, I think he looks at it and says it's not a pen, bro.
But then you got to go with your first instinct. If one of them is,
the thing is clear and obvious, right?
A pen. That's how you look at it.
That's why I was surprised they even sent him to the
So that's why what I'm saying is I think if it's not given, the first place, okay, fine, don't give it.
Yeah, you move on.
But the reason why I mentioned the soft thing is because I don't think it's clear and obvious. People can debate whether or not it should be a penalty or not, but in that case, it should be the referee, not whoever's in his ears, again, saying, yo, we know where your car's parked, I know where your family live. Like, that shouldn't really be how you referee it. But
all in all, though, I didn't think this game was the haram ball that everybody thought it was. Actually, it was a decent competitive game. What did you make of the performance?
You want to start?
No, you start.
No problem. I was actually happy with the first 45. Yeah. I think it was, I wouldn't say dominated in any way, but I think it was comfortable.
Control.
I wasn't really feeling, many nerves. Because for some reason, Atleti decided to just not press. Bro. I guess they saw a front line of obviously Gyökeres, Martinelli, Madueke, said, you know what, we're good, man. You
come.
You try and break us down, which fair enough, like I get it. But then at points I'm seeing Gyökeres breezing past Llorente. I said, hold on a minute.
That was really good.
I said, hold on a minute. I said, hold on a minute. So for that first 45, I'm thinking, these guys, they're showing, way too much respect. Like, I don't understand why you're the home team. And I'll be honest, a lot of the narratives, obviously, especially with the day before, 9 goals, they're going to be saying, haram ball, whatever. Yeah. And I was there saying beforehand, Simeone ain't that kind of guy anymore. But then he sent me shots because he did do it for the first half. Yeah. Like, I was seeing 6 defenders, 6-3-1 pretty much for that whole first half.
But do you think it's more to do with, I know it's been a while ago, but do you think it's because we beat them 4-0 at our ground that he's looking at it going, I've seen a taste of how this looks. Yeah.
Sure, but I feel like I fully agree with you, but I think when you're at home, the onus is on you to take the game, knowing that you have to go to the Emirates again, in a week. And I think from minute 50 to 75, that's when Atleti had us on complete ropes, bro. They were packing us in for that 25 minutes where they hit the bar, a couple of shots were saved, blocked. But then again, I think when the penalty wasn't given, even after that, I think they just kind of said, you know what, cool, we'll film a 1-1 then, because then it was basically Eze alone for that last 15 trying to get the
there was like a 10-15 minute spell though in the second half where Atletico
not 20 even from 50 to 70, 75 I would say that was
and in that period of time I genuinely felt like Atletico Madrid were passing the ball back to Arsenal just to win it back. Do you know their counter press, especially in that second half? They were winning every single duel, every single area.
They were winning so high up where it's like,
it was insane. Like it was, and the little guys are just out here just grabbing Saliba and Gabriel. Give me that ball. And bro, it's mad. Like obviously, this is the culture that Simeone has built, and you're right. It's not necessarily the same haram ball manager that we've seen in the past, but they still have that culture where you have to be. I'm saying
at the back,
real men.
And multiple to be
fair. There was a couple chances where I was like, look, man, you normally bury those. But that was the moment where I felt like if Atletico were going to take the game by the scruff of the neck, that was the one. After that, I just kind of knew it was going to peter out to a 1-1, and then the penalty decision, I think it happens briefly after that. But
like 72.
I wasn't asked.
It did feel like a game with a bit of a lack of lack of overall quality. There were moments of good quality throughout, but I did feel like Atleti were a bit sloppy in possession.
Yeah.
I felt as though even Arsenal were getting
underwhelming.
Yeah, they were underwhelming. I think Arsenal, in terms of getting the ball to their front line as much as possible. I know that front line isn't much there. It's difficult. I know. But this is something Simeone mentioned as well about the squad depth of Arsenal. And looking towards the bench, and you have Eze coming on, you got Saka coming off the bench. Obviously, he hasn't been having a great season, but he's still Bukayo Saka. And still having him coming off the bench is insane for them as well.
How important is it Eze starts in that second leg?
Oh, 1,000%.
He start every game at this point, mate.
Yeah, man, bro.
I feel like in the last couple of weeks, he's kind of really shown himself as like if someone's going to...
He's the man.
Like,
he's put Arsenal on his back the last, say, month and a half.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I'm coming from. So we've tried to see stuff from Odegaard, shell of himself as usual, as we know.
I actually thought he wasn't as bad as I've seen him in previous games.
I thought he was a typical passenger.
Yeah, he was.
And I'll be honest with you, that kind of game where you're getting hooked almost first indicates to me that you no longer have the trust of the manager. I don't think you're seen as a game changer. You don't really control games. You don't really create for others. I generally look at Odegaard for the last 18 months. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Arsenal have evolved past him. In my opinion, I think they've moved on. And Eze, in my opinion, the last month and a half, what he's shown, I'd start giving him that responsibility and say, you know what, you look like you want this. And in terms of even leadership, you would look at. I don't look at Odegaard for leadership. I look at Gabriel. I look at Rice. I look at maybe a Saka, maybe even Raya before I look at an Odegaard. And the fact that he's coming off and you don't really feel the difference, I think that speaks volumes. In my opinion.
I thought Eze was the only person. I was talking about the lack of quality that I felt. I felt like Eze was the only person that, regardless of how many dogs were on the pitch, he had that moment of quality. That I'm going to take it on my back foot. That I have the calmness to move it past the plate. He's got that in abundance, and I'm happy to see it happening in the biggest of stages, because this is new for him as well, by the way. It's completely new for him in Champions League.
Someone had an incredible game that day, though. Julian Alvarez, couple numbers. 6 shots, 6 duels won, 5 touches in the opposition box, 2 successful take-ons, 1 chance created, 1 goal. Diego Simeone has never lost a Champions League UEFA Champions League knockout round match against England opposition at the Wanda or Vicente Calderon. Or the Rio.
I thought a free kick went in, by the way. Did you guys?
The side netting one.
Oh my God.
Can I be honest as well? Not even the free kick here. And maybe it was my very legal means of watching the game, Even the penalties, I didn't even see them go in, bro. Like, when they shot, but I don't know if it was the power or just the camera angle. They shot, I didn't see what happened.
They leathered that.
I didn't see what happened.
I feel like Gyökeres has it's the Alan Shearer regime. The Harry Kane. They've all got it. They shot no nonsense. And the fact that Alvarez said, all right, look, I'm going to go band for band with this. I said, fairs. Those are actually 2 top tier penalties. I can't lie.
Such clinical strikers.
What do you think of Declan Rice? Because I know you're not a Rice fan.
He played the 6.
Yeah, he plays deeper, which made me feel like Zubimendi. What did we buy you for, broski?
No, but they swapped it over.
No, Zubimendi set up the transfer.
I think the best tandem when it works at his best.
1-2,
obviously, but I would say though, Rice like when he's playing in the 8, when he's more effective, there are more spaces in between lines, and there wasn't so much.
But in this game,
I thought he was all right. What was really annoying was the commentary, if I'm being honest. Like, I saw some really basic things that he was
crazy.
No, there's one Fuad where I think he's passed to a fullback, and it's like, Declan Rice again. Oh my God, he's been doing that all night long. And I didn't even look at that game and say he played poorly, but it just became insufferable. And then you start thinking, am I being kidded again? But I thought he was all right. I thought he did what Declan Rice does. He's in this kind of game against a dogged opposition. He go and dog it out.
I think all right is a bit harsh for me personally.
You thought he was brilliant?
I didn't say brilliant. There's a lot of things that can happen.
Why did you jump to brilliant? Why did you jump to brilliant?
What did you think?
No, I thought it was good. I think on Arsenal side, I think probably our 2 best players would have been Raya and Rice, in my opinion. I think, especially again in that first half, one of the reasons why the crowd was so quiet and Atleti were completely nullified is because anytime they tried to go forward, he'd either win it in the air or have a nice little interception and play the ball forward, which a lot of people pretend that he can never do. So I felt like first half was really good. Second half, I think we were completely disjointed, from top to bottom. But I think all right is a little bit harsh, given that.
All right and good. What's the biggest gap between all right and good? I said all right, you said good. This the same thing. All right, really, it's a big jump. All right and good is basically the same. It's basically the same. I'm saying all right and good. That's it.
No, I think he was our best outfielder.
Okay, I don't think he has a lot of good outfielders though, and that's a problem.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fairs.
Fewest games. Right, Julian
Alvarez has the fewest games needed to reach 25 Champions League goal by a South American, 42 games by Lionel Messi, and 41 games for Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez is also the first ever player to score 10 goals in a single Champions League campaign for Atletico Madrid. And David Hanko has now conceded a penalty in 2 of his last 3 appearances. After not conceding any of his 41 appearances in the club before that. Champions League talk over. Let's get to the weekend action. Man United versus Liverpool this weekend. As Busquets, who needs this win more? But before we dive into that, actually, a couple of super chats have come in. Production, if you want to get those up on our screen, please.
We didn't get a score prediction for the Arsenal game.
Oh, actually, yes. Great shout. Score predictions for the Arsenal game, quickly.
2-1. 2-1 Arsenal, yeah.
I say 2-1 Atleti.
That's exactly what I say as well.
I'm looking at like a 1-0 or something to Arsenal. It's not going to be fun.
Close game. As well. Saka, Eze back as well.
I think, again, it's a bit like cop-out-y, but I think it massively depends on what happens against Fulham. I think beat Fulham and then, you know...
Depending on the scoreline of beating Fulham, as in...
Yeah, as in, like, if we beat Fulham, I think we...
Like a 1-0 or it has to be a comfy one?
Just beat Fulham anyhow you can, cool. And then I think we'll get the job done. But don't beat Fulham, and then the pressure against us mountain of, you basically, the league is gone, and this is now your last possible chance. Because right now, we're still, like, in the balance.
Man United versus Liverpool, though. Talk to me about that game.
You were saying that Kobe Mainoo was better than Seydorf or something, and then they cut you off?
Yeah.
I think that's why they cut you off.
Nah, Kobe Mainoo, obviously you're excited about the new contract.
Yeah. Very, very excited about the new contract. I don't know how much they heard, though.
Absolutely nothing.
They heard none of it. But I think we were talking about how Ruben Amorim was trying his best to destroy Manchester United and what Manchester United stands for, about promoting young players into the first team. I think Kobe Mainoo has been one of the best academy graduates for a very, very long time.
Correct.
And he's assimilated. Since Rashford, I think that's fair. He's assimilated into the first team ever since Carrick has come in and has had an unbelievable record. When Kobe Mainoo starts, we win under Michael Carrick, which has been the case so far in the Premier League since Carrick's come in. He's been brilliant. I think he showed that again in the Brentford game right on first thing he does, like 2 minutes into the game, is drive through basically the whole team. Set Ahmad for, unfortunately, him not to take advantage of the situation. But Kobe is a brilliant player, and he has so many different things that he can do on the football pitch. Fuad, you were asking before we cut out about what his best skill sets are and who could come in and complement him. And you asked me as well what his best attribute is. I think maybe in tight spaces. At tight spaces, his driving, his use of his body is really, really good.
I think his defensive work gets overlooked as well.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that, because it's a narrative that
everyone focuses so much on, like, the technical and the dribbling ability, but I'm like, I think his dog work and his defensive. That's why I kind of question. Would it maybe even be better getting like an 8 and turning him into a 6?
The reason why, he's really good in the first phase, and he makes a lot of good decisions in one touch. If he's getting the ball from a goalkeeper, knows the right time to move it, and knows the right time to drop a shoulder. The reason why I think you have to allow him to drive up the pitch is because he's so good at it. Yeah. And as a 6, having that is a really good weapon to have, but it's not your primary weapon. Your primary weapon should be receive the ball on that back foot. Yeah. Can I break lines and find my attacking players as quickly as possible? I think you have to find an almost as complete midfielder as well. I like the idea of an Anderson and a Kobe pivot. I do, if I'm being honest. Why? Because I think both of them can receive from the back line very, very well. Yeah. And we've both seen them play with a DM. Yeah. Kobe playing with Casemiro and Elliot Anderson playing with Sangare from time to time, where they're able to get stuck in. Like Fuad says, it's really lazy analysis and a lazy narrative that's being pushed about Kobe, about him not having the legs or not running and not being able to get stuck in. If the structure of a team is good as it should be, and the problem with playing at Old Trafford when your structure is not good is how huge that pitch looks and how easy it looks to get past players. But if your structure is good, and I think Mike Carrick has now found a really good setup for Manchester United, he can get stuck in just as much as the next man. So there's so many different people that we're linked with. I think the main aim should be building around Kobe Mainoo in midfield, getting someone that complements him who can do the dirty work as well as maybe break lines with passing. Because I think maybe that's where Kobe's more on that. If I'm progressing the ball, I'm going to drive past the player, use my body well, get past them, and then set off to somebody. Yeah. Maybe if we get more of a pass-dominant player in the terms of their progression, I think that marriage could work really well in midfield.
We're saying one more year Casemiro.
I wish, but I do think it's time for it. I think it's a really good time for him to go as well.
He's scoring all your goals at this point.
Sign off on a high, innit?
Bro, do you know how that's not a lot of people get to do that, and this is especially because he's gone through a roller coaster at Manchester United, let alone throughout his career as well.
It reminds me of when we had Granit. In terms of he was hated, he started to like him, and now you're like, ooh, please stay, like Casemiro.
That's the best time to leave.
Really a good time for him to leave.
Liverpool this weekend, though, if you do win, pretty much Champions League secured, although it pretty much is already anyway.
It kind of is already, but it's always a big game. This is
always a big derby. Yeah. Will your kind of hopes going into it?
Well, it's probably the first time in a while that they'll probably can do the double, isn't it?
Yeah, we can do the double because we beat them under Amorim and Mbeumo early goal at Anfield as well. So yeah, it's
Liverpool won this exact fixture 3-0 last season.
Okay. Thank you for that. But Liverpool do have a good record at Old Trafford, unfortunately. It's a derby. I expect the team to be up for it, and Liverpool's a weird one because I've seen them have a good couple of games recently, but I do think in general they have been poor throughout the season. So it's a really good time for us to play them. I want to get my lick back.
I mean, to be fair,
I want to put some
you don't have Salah coming to score 2-3 goals in your head.
Bro, I want to get my lick back. I want a 3-0 win against Liverpool. What is the likelihood is not there. I'm saying what I desire. But if there's a time and there's a moment to beat Liverpool and to beat them convincingly, why the hell not now?
I have one reason.
Why?
Amad Diallo.
Talk to me.
I think that episode where obviously, big up Lieb, and I know everyone's his biggest fan right now, but one of the reasons why his neck had all those veins coming is because I said that since AFCON, Amad hasn't really been at it. And again, he was yelling, he was roaring, no, you don't understand, you're not watching. Since that, it's been like 2 months or 3 months since that. Amad has done nothing even more so. Obviously, everyone will speak about, Saka and whatnot, but Amad, can I get your thoughts on that one? Ruined an incredible Kobe assist there.
All-timer.
He did, but my thoughts on Amad are I understand why Liban felt like that at the time, and I think why he had a leg to stand on is because early on in the season his performances throughout the games were still good, and the problem is, as you were mentioning about, and obviously not the different caliber player, but at least it doesn't matter if you can drop a shoulder off your defender. What do you bring me after that? And it's how we judge attackers in the modern game. And it's something that Amad has to deal with. He's an insanely talented footballer. Do I believe he can get past most fullbacks in the league? 100 million%. And do I think his talent level is insane, what his ceiling could be if he's able to marry his talent and his ability with goals and assists? 100%. I think Amad Diallo is a sensational talent. But he's got to turn that corner quite quickly. He's not a young boy anymore.
What is he, 24, innit?
Yeah, I think he's 24 years old. So he's got to, going into next season and...
Do you reckon
also because
Amorim got better out of him in that
right wing back?
I was thinking about that now,
I think that's probably his best profiling.
Yeah.
That's probably his best piece of profiling.
I'd say
his only good profile is probably Amad being able to be out there constantly involved in 1v1s. Yeah. And that's the kind of game state that Amad wants to be involved in. I actually think 1v1 against a defender, I much prefer Amad over Mbeumo.
But it's
almost 100% of the time. Yeah. If I had to decide between facing up a defender, you beat that defender, you almost have a guaranteed goal. Yeah. I want Amad to be taken on defender. But who do I want shooting it? It's not Amad because he does that curling shot to the middle of the goal almost every single time. And Mbeumo, I know has the opportunity to get his foot through it and get a goal. It's an interesting one. He's like his last year being called a young player. He's got to do it now. It's now or never for Amad going into next season.
Yeah, so next season is...
Going into next season is now or never.
Because he's got Champions League football. Yeah. But I guess you're going to sign top quality players going into the summer.
We have to.
My only knock on him is, you know how you said, them players that look good in a bad team, but once the team starts looking good and you don't stand out, has that train kind of left? It's tough when you bring it. We signed the whole front three. We signed the whole front three stars. In going into the season, we signed Cunha, Mbeumo, and Cisco. Okay.
But they've all blown hot and cold in periods.
They have.
And that's where I felt like Amad should have taken advantage, taken the mantle, and he was almost meant to be the complementary piece to those wingers, if that makes sense. But it just feels like he's kind of lost his way a little bit this year. When you lot have actually found some stability and some form as a team, which is weird.
And the thing about Michael Carrick and the coaching staff is clear that they're going to go with whoever they believe
Rightfully so as well.
Rightfully, and that Sesko didn't see games for a while. Remember when that was a really big talking point?
Yeah.
Why isn't Sesko starting games?
Some people say it's since he went back and forth with Arsenal fans on Twitter. He hasn't
He's coincided with that.
Interesting point you make there.
It's coincided nicely.
Stay off Twitter, brother. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that account never used to be his account, and then somehow it became his account. Wasn't it someone pretending to be Ahmad?
Could be. I'm not sure.
And then before I know it, it was actually the official player. I was
so he
like,
bought it off a fan account.
I don't know. That's what I think.
Chalobah might be next then at this point.
Yeah, because he's talking.
Can't stop tweeting, bro. Back in the day, tweeting was like, oh,
Get
that's
them
it.
Twitter fingers off.
I used to love seeing like Ryan Babel tweeting and that. Nowadays, if I see you tweeting,
And Bruno Fernandes also hit 19 Premier League assists against Brentford as well.
The curse begins.
nah, it's over,
Curse
man.
begins.
It's over.
He takes all set pieces, all
You know. By the way,
corners.
he has to officially get 22.
Why?
De Bruyne's on 21.
Because Fulham said so.
No. Go and look at the assist they removed.
Please against Arsenal. Please.
Big
The one
deflection.
against Arsenal.
Big
The one
deflection,
against
bro.
Arsenal.
Big
Emirates.
deflection, bro.
Sterling back post. I don't want to hear it. That is 21 officially. So if you really want to be
might get
standalone,
He might
He's
get
getting it anyway.
He might get 22.
No, because you know what's funny? Go and watch the Kevin De Bruyne 100 Premier League assists. Guess what the first one is? The fucking assist against
It was
Arsenal.
a bit of rage bait, bro. That's all. It was a bit of rage bait.
So it's in the compilation for the assist, but you don't want to count it as an assist. No. Now you understand every time they show that table why Kevin De Bruyne is top. It's not because the game's played, because he's actually got 21. Bruno, it's not 20.
I think Bruno can
Either
get
way, bro,
22.
even if it was 20, I can't lie.
Bruno's getting 22. Bruno's getting 22.
Let's be completely fair, right? Obviously, incredible achievement, but let's also be fair, yeah? The last 2 months, this guy has seriously been farming in terms of like, there are scenarios where a year
Just
ago,
the last
2 years
2
ago.
months?
No, but in general.
Can I argue he's a farmer in general, though?
No, hear what I'm going to say. In general, you see this guy taking, long shot upon long shot or inside the box. I'm seeing him drive into the box, turn around and lay it off to Casemiro. I'm thinking,
There was
you're never doing that before, bro. Come on, just shoot.
He is doing that before, by the way. He's been doing that.
Bro,
Bruno
there's
does do
scenarios
that.
where he would take this, bro. You're through on
You
goal.
have to accept. You have to accept that this is the kind of player that he is, brother. This is the kind of player that he is, and he's always been this kind of player. But one thing I'll say, do you know what? Do you know why I want this assist record to happen on this season?
Why?
Is because early on this season is the best version of Bruno Fernandes ever. Like he was playing. Let me say why. During the games, he's playing in complete flow state. Like if you watch the guy play during this season, and I watched every single minute of it, this is like he is trying things for the sake of trying things, and they're coming off at a more alarming rate.
That's just Bruno.
That doesn't, that doesn't, because the issue with Bruno is what you guys always
What do
say.
you mean earlier in the season? Just to clarify, just so that I know.
First portion of the season, even under Amorim, like and the beginning of Carrick. Sorry, Stafford, that's not the first portion of the season.
So after
End of Amorim, beginning of Carrick. End of Amorim, beginning of Carrick.
The reason why I'm a bit confused is because I remember, again, we can go back in time a little bit. This was the period where he was getting, like back-to-back red cards, and the United fans were saying, "Why didn't we accept 100 mil from Al Ali up until January?" That was a big chunk
for
of
me, it
people
was
as
like
well.
after January he turned.
Yeah, so that's why I'm confused what you're saying. Like at the start of the season, bro.
The reason why I say that, and also you have to realize that you cannot bring these flimsy claims to me because I have never ever said.
No,
that
I'm just giving you something.
I understand you're giving the context. Those claims are never relevant with me because any person who last season was saying, "Oh, he should have gone to Saudi," but now all of a sudden you're saying he's the best midfielder in the league. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Even said it this January.
Bro, I'm talking about a couple of months ago. Guys were saying, "Oh, Bruno, we should cash out on Bruno Fernandes."
Say names.
I'll leave that to you. The guys who say names, they're not the ones that say names, you know? It's so funny. The guy that say names, are they going to come to Mike here? Come say the name. You want to say the name? God damn. But maybe it's not correct to say at the beginning of the season. End of Amorim, beginning of Carrick.
So was that like December, Jan?
Yeah. When did Amorim get sacked?
You know
It was a bank holiday for me.
Can't lie.
Went mad. But whenever he left and the beginning of Carrick is when he was just like you guys, I wish you'd watched every single minute of it. Some of you guys did. But it's just everything that he's doing is coming off. Back heels going through defenders' legs. Shots are going in left, right, and centre. But the guy was just in flow state week in, week out.
Is he going to turn up against Liverpool this weekend?
Yeah, I expect him to. And I think he'll get an assist. Score prediction, I'll go. Actually, I'm not going to go mad if I'm a bit. 3-1 Man United. Why not?
Are you going to watch every minute?
Absolutely. I've said that a couple of times.
All right.
So I'd ask you again just in case.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Do we have to? Aston Villa versus Spurs.
Do we have to?
The floor is yours, brother.
I mean, floor is more yours to ask me things if you like.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
What questions have you been asked? You've been asked all the boring questions.
every single question.
My biggest question to you is...
Aston Villa won this exact fixture 2-0 last season. Last beating Spurs in consecutive home league games in May, November 2004. So it's been a while since they beat us back-to-back home games, you know.
My question to you is, are you confident?
Hell motherfucking no. I know we're live, so I'm not supposed to swear, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We don't have no chance.
That's right.
We're going down. We just gotta go down with style. I'm telling you now, there is no chance, in my opinion. I looked at the 2 away games we got: Chelsea, Aston Villa. Both are fighting for Europe. Villa more seriously.
They're playing today, right?
All you can kind of hope with Villa is, does that European game midweek play a factor and they maybe take their eye off the ball?
I want to have a look if they're winning.
Take advantage of that. However, when you look at the Spurs team, you look at the attack, you look at the midfield, you look at the defense, you look at Kinski in goal.
Look at the fans.
You look at the fans.
Kinski's low-key balling out.
You look at
Kinski, I can't lie, a little bit of redemption arc, but it's not enough. Look at the content creators. It's all a mess, brother. I don't know where this survival is coming from. I don't know where the goals are coming from. I don't know where the creativity is coming from. Solanke's injured. Xavi's out injured. We've got 15 man on the injury list. Bro, I truly don't know where. It's almost like we're walking to the death door. We're walking to the trap door.
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm a bit confused. I feel like I see you on different platforms, and you're saying like completely different things about like. Like after the last game, I was hearing that because of De Zerbi, you know how you've been feeling after the last game. You now become that you can stay up, and now it's absolutely no chance.
Find the clip.
I need to see the clip.
No. Because this is why it's live. Find the clip now.
What?
How do you expect me to go through an entire thing?
You said. This was clearly said within the last 7 days. There's only a few platforms I go on.
Facts. So wait, to clarify,
I can clarify what I said, but you just said I said something that I didn't say.
Okay, so let me clarify. You haven't said You haven't said this.
Never.
Cool.
Find that for me now. While we pull down amongst ourselves. FCM, FCM page, go there, look at the clips, and find which one. Because I can find that clip.
Yeah, facts.
Find the clip that he's talking about.
So what did he say?
So we're gonna play that clip. We're gonna play that clip. Because one thing we do not do as an integral podcast, we don't lie. So that's why I asked you the question.
The clip is answered
right here.
Zerbi earlier. Because the last kind of 3 games or 2 games that he's been in charge, you're seeing little things in terms of whether it's the press, whether it's little passages, where you're thinking, you know what, you can see something that he's trying to build. And he said, coming in, I don't want to put too much tactical emphasis on these. I just want to get them to be confident in themselves. And so far, the performances, they're improving, but today wasn't about performances. Today was just get in, get out, keep your head above water. And West Ham, I'm hoping someone help me, please, man. This is the point of the season now where I'm genuinely looking around. I need other teams to give me results. We play in Leeds at home. Yeah. I think we got Aston Villa away next. We got Chelsea away as well, and then Everton at home.
Where in that clip?
First and foremost,
did I say we're staying up?
I don't even know what video that is. I wasn't even watching that video.
So what clip are you referring to?
SDS, bro.
SDS?
If anything, if I go home and I find it, I'll even come out. I'll go live myself even.
You don't need to go live.
I'll go live myself.
I'm giving you the floor now. I'm giving you the floor now.
I'm not going to watch an hour podcast episode in the middle of a report.
To be fair, he's got it up now. We can skip the ad.
Because you know what it is if that was something I said on SDS, someone would be able to refer.
Wait, so you don't recall saying that you feel confident that you can stay up?
2 or 3 months that we're staying up.
Okay,
so where you got this from? I don't know.
No problem. I'll put it on my story. On my way home, I'll put it on my story. And if I don't, then I'll say, you know what,
I look forward to it, brother.
No
I
problem.
look forward to it because I have not said we're staying up. And I don't think I've said we're staying up for a long time.
No problem.
Because anybody who supported Spurs for the last, I think since January, most Spurs fans would have said, we are sleepwalking to our deaths. I think that's probably the thing I've said the most over every single week. This game against Aston Villa, how does that change? We're going away to a Villa team that is doing well in Europe, doing well in the league, they're balancing everything. I don't see any way that we're staying up, and I don't see any way we get a result in this game.
I think a lot of Spurs fans feel like they're going down.
Yeah, even with De Zerbi coming in, De Zerbi's improved a few things, but it's too little too late. Way too little too late. It's like if you appointed him maybe when Igor was here, you could have maybe seen something. I think even if you appointed him January, you could have definitely stayed up. But at this point in the season, it's far too little too late. Villa will obviously want to solidify their top 5 position as well. What do you lot make of Villa? Can they get the Europa League and Champions League?
They can, because there's more slots now. I think, what was it, 6 at this moment in time? And if they win, I think they've got enough depth now to basically scavenge their way into finishing 4th or 3rd.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest, like, they're in that race. Tielemans back. Like, they look like they're doing well. They're playing decent football. I know they had a blip. Was it last week or the week before where they lost? Villa. They lost Fulham. It was Fulham last week, innit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're coming from. But you know, Emery, man. Like, he's put all his eggs into Europa League, innit? But I feel like they're good enough. I think Ollie Watkins is finally starting to hit form a lot more as well.
Yeah.
So I do see them getting over the line and finishing in like the top 4 spot.
Fairs. Let's move on from the Villa Spurs game. Did you find a clip? No.
Yeah!
Do you know what clip it is? Do you know what clip it is?
Someone in the chat is saying
you know when I
he did say that. You know, did say that.
You know last week when I ran up to the camera, the Diego Maradona thing.
Yeah.
Tell me you can't tell I'm joking.
Whatever you said it when you did it, bro.
Tell me when I'm going and barking up to the camera. Am I joking or not?
Essentially after. So you did say
4 months.
So you did say it.
But there's a time when you know when someone is in jest and when someone is being serious.
That's why I've asked you the question beforehand.
No,
and so you did say it.
But you tried to bring it up like a gotcha moment.
No, I did. Did I? Explain to me how I started it. How I started it was I said I'm confused. Explain to me because I've heard you say this.
Because you're saying basically
So
I seriously said that was saying up when I'm seriously not being serious.
That is the first time where...
Come on, bro.
That is the first time where I would argue...
You do content, bro. Come on.
No.
You do trolling content as well.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You should know where this is coming from.
This is the first time where you've won a game, so I'd be understandable if you thought, you know what, there's a bit of confidence there.
Come on, bro.
I can maybe hear a win coming.
We played bottom of the table, already relegated Wolves. Come on.
Yeah, when you're down there, bro, when you're broke, like, you know, any little sandwiches is happy. You know what I mean?
Listen, at the end of the season, we could leave with the same amount of trophies. So
we could. I must have said it as a joking conversation.
Nah, even the fans. No, listen, man. The game is the game. It is what it is. But
so you said it.
All in all, that's what I care about. You got me. You got me. You're supposed to be right. You got me. You got me.
I don't think it's a you got me.
It's the same with the Ludes DS. You're just supposed to be right.
I'm just asking the question.
Is it? There you go. Look at the energy.
Because the realizations are right, bro. The realizations are right that they're staying up.
That's DiCaprio.
Come on.
I'm not leaving.
The realizations are right that they're staying up, bro.
Now we can't tell when we're joking.
How am I allowed to bring it?
Apparently, everyone's allowed to laugh. We're not allowed to laugh.
Guys, I didn't see you laughing there, to be fair. I didn't see you laughing.
No more laughing.
That's not holding up in court. That's not holding up in court.
Hey, man, the game is the game. But, funnily enough, that is actually the end. But before we leave, there is something very special happening this Monday.
Yeah. What I was going to say?
Arsenal Fulham.
I'll give it a rest, man.
Nobody wants to hear about that, big title.
Arsenal Fulham, boys.
And let's go on.
I was gonna go straight to the SDS. We still go on. And the City Everton. Arsenal Fulham, boys. Would you lot reckon is gonna happen?
I think we beat them fairly comfortably. I can't lie.
I don't think it'll be comfortable, man. These men are knackered right now, bro. They're playing on like 5% battery, maybe like a 1-0 or something.
You know what's mad? Arsenal have never lost in 32 home league games against Fulham, the most any side has faced without defeat in football English league history. If that isn't a given, it's got to be a give me 3 points, surely.
No, I feel like maybe I'm being too gassed, but I feel like this is the free eats one. I think this is a 3-4-0 one. I'm confident about it.
Production strike one.
Some star player and not me. Because when that happened, 1-0, bro. 1-0. There's only one free eats I'd argue, and that's maybe Burnley. And even then,
well, they sacked the manager. The Scott Parker's gone in there.
Yeah, let's shout out Michael Jackson, by the way. Big up him.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Yeah.
New gaffer. Yeah, big up him, man.
Arsenal have conceded 11 goals in 17 Premier League home games. That's actually mad.
That is human nature.
Let him even show it. Let him even show it.
Click show.
Yo, that's insane. No, don't do that.
Press it, bro.
Get it.
24 hours. Put user on timeout. We don't tolerate that.
5 minutes.
We're all family here, yeah? We're all family here. We don't have none of that, yeah? We might bick up, we might argue, but we're all family. We're all one team, yeah? But you know what I'm saying? 6 points clear at the end of the day.
Put pressure back onto Man City.
Put a bit of pressure back onto City. And then any super chats that we've missed before we get into the SDS.
1,000 facts.
Hey there, here's a quick one.
Facts.
A ban looks
He says,
healthy, though.
get caught now running the just a joke gimmick. Okay.
Let's ask the question.
Should have kept your Iris, bro. It wasn't worth it. Abs Marshall shirt came with the snake egg.
Does that mean I'm putting on weight?
I have no clue what that means. Oh,
Putting on weight.
that's not
I need to
it.
get in the gym.
So he says, first time in a while, I'm not worried about Liverpool at OT.
I forgot how it felt as well, Dwayne, my boy. I forgot as well, my boy.
I think that is all the super chats.
Thank you.
It's brilliant.
Stars.
That's mean.
The friendliness is now over.
Friendliness is over.
Friendliness
Why
is
is
now
that?
over, my friends. Like, I don't even know if I should let you talk with a mic. Like, but SDS FC versus NDO FC
Okay.
Eric Abidal.
on Monday. Talk to me. How are you feeling? How's the camp feeling? Are you lot nervous?
No, I'm not in the slightest.
Put that motherfucker on timeout right now. Yeah? No. Hide user on this channel.
No, but I can never see it again.
Hide user on this
That's
channel.
crazy dictatorship,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Yeah, bro. No, 24 hours. 24 hours. 24 hours.
We're not on stream till next week.
One minute.
T-Ton, when I see you on Monday in the SDS stream, I'm blocking you out the gate. And make sure you never ever get to comment on this channel again.
Matter of fact, just give him your address as well.
You lot thought Sharky was a dictator. You lot ain't seen nothing yet. Watch. It's a new era.
Yeah, I'm excited for this era.
So, NDL, talk to us. How are we going to slap you on Monday?
I don't think you guys will slap us. I'll be real, yeah. Obviously, last season you beat us twice, rightfully so.
What was the
But
scoreline, remind me?
it was 6-3 and 6-4, if I'm correct. 6-4 the first one, 6-3 the second. Yeah, 5-1 in all time the first game.
And then ref added on a couple extra minutes for them to get a couple of little wagons. The little wagons. Yeah.
But obviously it's a new season, so I'm not basing it off what we did last year.
Fairs?
We've obviously added a lot more quality this season. You can say that. I felt like the last game we played was an example of NDL football. Free, fast, expansive football.
Say that again.
Free, fast, expansive football. And you know what they say
I'll be
about
honest, their lineup was ridiculous.
It's a joke.
No Isaac Modi and no Kieran Clark.
Yo,
Sam Fitzgerald played
Isaac
the base.
Modi,
The
Star
MVP
said to me he doesn't rate you, so if you ever want to see move to SDS, you're more than welcome here.
Because that's what SDS do, sign top players. Top quality. We both know they don't.
Whoa. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
There's a phrase in the Ball League camp that say when they leave SDS, it's freedom.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Where has freedom got them?
Oh, MVP race. It's a big one.
MVP
Only
race.
one man can talk that
race.
talk. The rest of them, some of them ain't even in the league.
But again,
Watch your yard, man. That's tough.
I've got two questions obviously for SDS man. Or SDS FC man. Are the fans turning up on Monday? Is the Green Army
Don't worry
turning
about
up?
the fans.
That's one of my big
Is the
things.
game won by the fans? Or is
You
the
know
game
this?
Because last year we battered you up in the stands. We battered you
And then
up.
what happened the week after
You
that?
lot were silent to the point where some of your guys were taking off their yellow hoodies, trying to run over and be like, yo, let me sign up.
Let me join up with the let's say. And
Tranquilo.
the only thing is that how does your team deal with the Green Army? Because they haven't dealt with it well.
Because you turn up once a week. Not even once a week, once a season.
We only turn up when it matters.
Yeah, I feel like some teams are allowed to just do whatever they want in the stands as well. Whereas other teams,
also, do you know what the other thing is?
from what I can see from watching at home, I'm
You know
seeing
what
one
our
team
fans as well.
It's just, you know what it is?
One thing I love about the
one
SDS
manager's got
community,
motion, the other one doesn't, so
It's
get your motion
organic,
up.
though. It's
You won
organic.
2 finals.
It's organic. We don't
So
have to.
you win the
we don't
motion
have to
trophy.
pay our
Not
fans.
necessarily, right.
We don't have to pay our fans. That's the difference.
We don't pay our fans.
Choreographed chanting
Because
as
you
well.
see, in the Baller League community, what they say is there are forms being filled out to join. There are
The army,
fees
yeah.
being paid. You know what I'm saying? And then you get told, hey, here's a little hoodie.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Can we call it?
The chant, don't forget.
Can we call it motion or can we call that just payout?
That's not motion. That's promotion. Guys.
You guys are lucky. You guys are lucky. I'm still SDS. Because I can leak some last. I can leak You know what I mean? I have too much respect for shots. I got too much respect.
I like you on the pod. I like you on the pod, bro.
But in regards to the game, obviously, I feel like.
Are you gonna go with that similar kind of attack? You said you saw NDL football. Is that the first time you feel like you've seen that in a
Yeah,
while?
because one thing you've obviously alluded to earlier, you said no Isaac Modi, no Kieran Clark in the
Brother,
starting
you
lineup.
played with the MVP at the base.
And we won. We was winning
ridiculous.
5-1.
The MVP's at the base. It's
We winning
ridiculous.
5-1
Yeah.
comfortably.
It's
Down home from
unbelievable
with
to watch.
Isaac coming off the bench scoring 2. Obviously, it can change. Obviously, when we have training, we're gonna watch. But in regards to it, I just want to win. I need my team to win. If we win, we've secured basically top 4. And I trust my players. I believe in my players to deliver because we're NDLFC and all we want is top quality stuff. Hopefully, you guys make it a game as well. I know you broke us twice last year, but it's a different team.
But you
it's a
say
different
that,
team in it.
but
That's
like,
not the most
you wouldn't
motivational
have-
chant, you
No,
know.
but you would.
I don't need to say it in front of SDS, man.
I know. My thing is this, man. You would have said, and you did say last season, you were quite confident going into the
Correct.
SDS game based on the way that SDS were playing.
Correct.
There's no point bringing that back up again because no matter how SDS play,
Yeah.
the history has shown that they slap NDL. But I'm so
Cut your head back, the boys, man.
but so conceding 12 goals to the same team
Yeah.
over 2 games is something that's going to play on the player's mind, I think. And also,
It really depends because if, say for example, like you said, if we held on to like 70%, 60% of my team, I'd agree. But
It is a
if
very new team. It
You
is a very
you
new
see,
team.
like Dara wasn't with us last year.
Yeah.
Fitzy, obviously Raz has just come back from Worthing, so he's going to bring that. He's going to bring that winning mentality. And then, like you said,
I don't want him to
the others.
get back into.
Oh, because he won with
Worthing, innit?
Ah,
So
okay,
yeah, they're coming from like obviously we've added a lot of quality, a lot of good pieces. I just want it to be a good game, fun game.
will be.
I just don't want you guys to make it a cup final the way you guys always do. That's my biggest thing. innit?
But why don't you want that? Because we used to win those cups. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
It doesn't scare me.
2. And they talk to me about cup finals.
No, but
what are they talking about?
we both won the same amount. So it don't matter.
Yeah? What? You wanna ball
Same
league?
amount what?
What ball league? Where's your ball
I
league
won
title?
season 1.
What season one?
And then
No,
we
no,
both
no,
did
no,
the same
no,
thing in season 2.
no, no.
I don't know about that.
First seed.
You can't talk. I don't know about that. You can't talk. I don't know. Brother, you can't talk season 1.
I don't know, you know.
You were cheering because of my boy.
You can't, like, if it's a combo between NDL and
first seed.
SDS, you can't be
You're
claiming
first
what
seed.
you do.
You didn't win ball league. You're first seed.
Huh?
You're first seed. You finished number 1 in the regular season. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Right?
not last season. Last season we finished 3rd, I think.
So you're saying that we've won the same thing.
Yeah, we won the same. I was part of it. Where I'm coming from. So he took his role there.
Oh, you took your man there.
1,000% because the best player in the league is the person I brought. So let's not do this now.
Yeah.
Let's not do it. That's why SDS man can never chat to me because they're excited over one player that I brought to the league.
Guys, we'll catch you guys
not
next
man,
week.
everyone else.
Make sure you're
NDL,
subscribed.
we've got this. NDLFC, we got this. We got this.
Score prediction.
6 for us.
You trying to get the 6 on us this time?
Is that before?
Is that like what we do to you?
Nah, I don't think we'll get 1-on-1 Monday. I don't think we'll do. We had it last week. We had it last week.
Let me say this: if we get 1v1 in that game, that's the biggest proof I need that Baller League, it's rigged, and they want you lot to win this year, basically. So just that would
So you
just
don't
let me
think
know.
they want Prime to win it?
That one of you two, basically, they just don't want us to win. That's what I know. But hey, what do you guys think? Predictions?
I have no reason to bet against the house. But in this game, SDS is the house. I will
But my
go-
thing is, you know, the weirdest thing, my last thing in regards to it, yeah, is obviously you man.
Can you give us predictions?
Before like this is my thing, yeah. Are you coming out to play or are you?
I don't
compacting?
do this.
I'll
I ain't
answer-
a
I'll answer
gaffer.
that. I'll answer that.
I know you told me the
Mazel
truth.
set the game
No,
plan.
you told me the truth. I just
Yeah,
can't.
we'll go to win.
Okay, cool.
Like regardless of
Okay,
how
cool.
we
So it
try
don't matter
to.
the manner, obviously.
Yeah, the
Fair
manner
enough.
never matters.
Fair enough, cool.
That's
it.
And the same way that you said that you guys have done new things, SDS have done new things as well.
True.
And we have seen. Yeah, all I know is that SDS will go out there and they will set up to win that game.
That's true.
Whether that is the most entertaining is irrelevant to us.
Haram,
we care
bro.
about
Let's
wins.
get ready, man.
I can't wait.